Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. Today is Sunday, September 13th, 2020, and today we'll be taking a look at a 2020 electoral map and talking about the weirdest possible, electoral college scenario. So what we're working with is essentially all of the swing states that we normally do on top of the safe states. So you're not going to see Wyoming go blue and you're not going to see New York go red. But what you're going to see is a weird type of, swing state map, which is actually possible. So this map actually originates from 538, where they pretty much just outlined a possibility where, Joe Biden could win in one part of the country, whereas Donald Trump wins in the other. And honestly, looking at it, at face value and talking about what would actually have to happen in order for this to work is just phenomenal. It's insane to see. So let's start off with all the safe Democratic and Republican states. We all know how they are going to vote. If you're wondering, oh, wow, okay. If you're wondering why I don't spend too much time talking about them, it's just pretty much, I honestly don't think it's really worth it to talk about, why Biden will win D.C. versus why Trump will win, Wyoming. It just honestly doesn't seem like something that you guys really want to hear. But, maybe we'll do a state to state, a 50 series video type thing where we talk about each individual state. But that would be, sometime closer to the election. We're talking maybe, it is mid-September. End of September, if I was to do one, but that's entirely up to, I guess, my schedule. So 125 for Trump, 182 actually for Biden. I guess 183 with the addition of Maine's 1st district. Let's go ahead and characterize some of these states from 2016. I don't think there is too much to focus on. We're not going to do margins just because maybe we'll do margins right at the end, but we're not going to focus on that for this video. We're just talking about a weird electoral college scenario. So in this map, Virginia goes to Joe Biden, and so does New Hampshire. These are two states that you would have to go to Joe Biden in order for this to be a real scenario. Maine at large must go to Joe Biden. He's going to carry this area by roughly 9-10%. So I'm confident that Biden will carry Maine at large. In terms of some other states, I think that Biden will also carry New Mexico. I think he will carry Colorado and Nevada. These are states that have been pretty strong for the Democrats in the past couple of years. And honestly, Donald Trump has not improved off his 2016 margin. So I would say Nevada, Colorado, New Mexico go to Biden. Trump is at 125, 191 toss-up electoral votes. And when we're looking across this map, we're going to have to see where Trump can do well in terms of, a region-by-region basis. I keep saying and I'm really trying to stop, but I guess I'm addicted to it. Anyways, I'll probably phase it out in like a week or so just bear with me. But looking at the Rust Belt region, this is the area where I think, based off the thumbnail, if you looked at it, where Donald Trump could actually do well in, at least if we're talking about regions in the country where he is to perform better. He's not going to do too well in the New England region. He's not going to do too well in this southwestern region. He might do well in the south, that's possible. But then looking at the Rust Belt, this is an area where Donald Trump is going to be heavily targeting. And in this map, he carries Iowa, he carries Ohio, which isn't too far-fetched. I mean, he carries both of these on my regular electoral map. But he also carries Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and get this, Minnesota. Now, the reason why I think this one is a little surprising is because Minnesota voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016 by 2%. I know it was close, but Donald Trump definitely hasn't improved off his 2016 margin. Though I do think Michigan will be more left-leaning than Minnesota, I still think all 4 of these states will go to Joe Biden on Election Day. But for the sake of this scenario, they go to Trump. So that's a 10 electoral vote flip in Minnesota, but for the Democrats, they essentially are able to carry Arizona to counteract this Minnesota victory for Donald Trump. But we're leaving out 100 toss-up electoral votes, coming from 2 congressional districts and 4 states. Now, in this map, Joe Biden would actually carry the state of Texas, which puts him narrowly over the top, which leaves the remaining electoral votes for Donald Trump. This is the finalized, weirdest map possible. And the reason why this map is so weird is because you'd never really expect Texas and Arizona to go blue before you would see Michigan go blue. And I think that Pennsylvania and Wisconsin may be the closer ones out of the 4 that I just talked about: Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. But I do think that they will still vote to the left of Texas. I think Arizona could possibly vote to the left of Wisconsin. But for all of these states, I still think that Biden is the favorite. In Texas, the reason why, this is so significant is because of the fact that Joe Biden or any Democrat should not be winning Texas, at least in the near future, for the sake of the GOP. If they want to remain competitive on the presidential level, they need Texas to be solid for the GOP. It cannot afford to be a swing state. Yes, if they win it, it'll be money well spent, but at the same time, this was a state that the Republican Party really never needed to focus on. Take a look at even in the 2008 wave election for Obama, it was still an 11-point victory for McCain. Only in 2016 did it narrow down to single digits, which was 9%. Now, Trump is only ahead by 1% in this state. So this map came from 538, and it was actually one of the weirdest scenarios that I've ever seen. I don't think I could come up with a weirder map. Maybe Virginia somehow going red and then another part of the country going blue, but this just seems so weird because the regions match up. I mean, it makes sense that the Southwest region votes together and that the Rust Belt votes together and that the Northeast generally votes together. But it's just weird seeing an electoral map where Trump is able to carry the Rust Belt yet somehow lose Texas. And this puts Joe Biden narrowly over the top. I mean, he's at 271 in this map. This is not an electoral college prediction. I feel like someone's going to misinterpret what I'm talking about for this map, but this is definitely not a prediction. This is just me talking about the weirdest map possible. And I think that Arizona is likely to go to Joe Biden. So while this is unlikely altogether, it is very possible that these states individually vote how I have characterized them. Now, I think Minnesota is absolutely going to Biden. I think Michigan is absolutely going for Biden. Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, more than likely going for Biden in this election. So if we were to talk about a map where Texas somehow was able to turn blue and the Rust Belt went, blue as well, it'd be very beneficial for the Democrats. But you can see there's pretty much just a sea of red everywhere except for this region and the Northeast. I mean, the Democratic states are connected all together except for Hawaii and Illinois. But Illinois is surrounded by a literal sea of red. And if we're looking at North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, these are hopefuls for the Democrats that they would lose in this map, which actually, they are underwater in Georgia. I don't think that Biden is going to carry North Carolina at this point. I think that it's possible, but I think Trump is still the narrow favorite. In Florida, I think Biden is narrowly ahead, but still within reach for the Trump campaign. Texas is obviously but in favor of Donald Trump, but the Biden campaign absolutely can make a play for it. In Arizona, this is a state where Biden has maybe a 75 to 25 chance between Biden's chance to Trump's chance in this state. So I think that the Democrats should be not super confident, but pretty confident in the state of Arizona. Looking at Virginia, Colorado, New Mexico, Nevada, these are traditionally Democratic states, and so is New Hampshire. So this map is honestly so weird. I'm trying to think if there's another way to draw this map even weirder. I don't think so, because Texas going blue on top of a red Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. In fact, a lot of these swing states voted to the left of Texas in 2016. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and Nebraska's 2nd district. But for the rest of them, they all voted to the right, including Iowa, which I think is honestly super surprising. Iowa voted more for Trump than Texas, despite voting for Obama multiple times and actually, not being too solid for the GOP in the past. So I don't know what happened in Iowa in 2016, but Donald Trump ran up the numbers there. But I do want to say that this map, while super unlikely, is not impossible. 4 years ago, we would have said this map is completely impossible. Donald Trump expanded his electoral ground with covering the Rust Belt, making it super competitive. The Democrats have now made Arizona, Texas, and the entire Sun Belt region way more competitive. So this map, like I said, while may be super unlikely, is not impossible. And it was impossible 8 years ago, 12 years ago, 4 years ago, and you would have thought that a Democrat would be able to carry Texas while losing the Rust Belt. And this is what I would think would happen if the Biden campaign solely focused on, Latino turnout. If we're talking about being able to win over a key demographic group that is the 2nd largest demographic group in the country, Texas, Arizona are electoral prizes in themselves, but the Democratic Party already has a pretty strong grip on the Clinton states from 2016. And Arizona and Texas were only additions to the Biden campaign. They're not crucial to his victory. But obviously in this map, it would be. Biden would be able to carry 271 electoral votes, flipping Arizona and Texas, whereas Trump would be flipping the state of Minnesota. Overall, Trump would carry 267 electoral votes. Biden would carry 271. What would this map look like? Pretty much just the standard type of map that we're used to. Trump would be able to carry Wisconsin and Michigan and Pennsylvania by lean margins. Minnesota probably by a lean margin as well. Iowa, Ohio would be likely. North Carolina is lean. Georgia is lean. Florida is tilt. Texas would be considered tilt. Arizona would be lean. That's pretty much it in terms of the margins. There isn't much else to see. Maybe Mississippi and South Carolina going likely red. But in this map, Trump would be outperforming the numbers that he has right now. And it would just be, a regional advantage for the Democrats in this part of the United States, whereas Donald Trump would be locking down the Rust Belt. So let's go ahead and characterize those, and then let's just see what the numbers end up being like. So 267 for Trump, 271 for Biden, 110 electoral votes for Trump, 110 safe electoral votes, 39 likely electoral votes for Trump, 88 lean for Trump, and 30 tilt for Trump. 183 safe for Biden, 39 likely for Biden, 11 lean for Biden, and 38 tilt for Biden. Very, very close. Those entire 38 come from Texas. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to comment down suggestions below. Subscribe on the left if you haven't already, and check out the Instagram and Twitter. At the bottom left of the screen, there's also a Discord link for you to go ahead and join. In the description box, I also released my new merchandise. Go ahead and check that out if you'd like, and please consider joining as a member on my channel. Again, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you all tomorrow.